What's up, Disney Infiniteers? Welcome to today's special video where we have a podcast formula breaking down our Avengers Endgame Toybox. Today, I am joined by all the co-creators. Lionthd, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Awesome. Pringle72.
Hey, and I'm still awake.
Who else do we got in here? The bow tie guy.
Hello, guys from Germany.
Hello. We also have in here Poppa H. No, we don't have Poppa H because Poppa H is currently walking his dog. More on that later. But we also have ThatBrownBat.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Look at that. And did I miss anybody? I'm already forgetting. We've already started the podcast. I'm seeing the Marvel logo flying in. Did I get everybody?
You have to introduce yourself in Infinity Ring.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm Infinity Adventures and the crazy person that put this whole project together. In fact, this whole process, I want to say, guys, started about 7, 8, 9 months ago. And I remember we were on a Thursday call together because we always check out each other's toy boxes and share ideas and talk Disney Infinity. And I remember I had this idea to do the heist from Endgame, and I never really thought it would become a reality. But what were your first thoughts when I brought this idea to the table?
Crazy.
I never thought it was going to... Well, I was going to say, I never thought it was going to happen. I thought it was going to be, one of those things we talk about and just didn't actually happen. It really did.
It is pretty crazy to think about because I remember thinking, well, there's no way I could build this, right? Because I admire all of your work. Like, I legitimately look up to all of you. I know we've been watching each other's content for years and years and years. I mean, Pringle, I've been watching your stuff since the, Disney Infinity's heyday. Brown Bat, I remember your videos in the past. And it's just so crazy to me that we were A, able to come together, and then B, also create an entire feature film. And not only just a feature film, but Endgame, arguably Disney's biggest movie ever, inside the toy box all these years later. So I want to start off with this first part. Lion. I've been calling you Lion for a couple years, but it's actually Leon, but I'm still going to go with Lion. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, man, that's fine.
All right.
After this project, that's fine. Yes.
Okay. Lion Leon. So let's talk about this first part. This was a collaborative effort, right?
It was. I mean, this toy box that you see here, the headquarters, was one of the most advanced toy boxes that we've created together, and it required 4 people. We had Poppa H, who delivered the template for this. Then we had ThatBrownBat, who used basically the template from Poppa H and made a few adjustments to it. And after that, the bowtie guy got involved into it and helped with the hanger as well as other things. And last but not least, I was involved into this toy box to take care of these individual scenes, the text, so everything that you see here, because this toy box, even though it isn't the most actionful toy box, is basically the first hour of the whole Endgame movie.
Don't forget Poppa H I worked with on the hangar bay.
Right, he helped also there. Yeah. But he provided the whole thing.
And let's talk about the technology behind this, because for so many years, we have not been able to access the text creator, especially when creating on console. So, Brown Bat, I know you do mods and stuff, but let's talk about the logistics of how this had to work, because we had certain people building on the PS4 or PS5 and then sharing the save file, which also has not been possible since they shut the servers down. So how hard was it to convert these save files, Lion? And then I know you and Brown Bat did a lot of work on just making sure everything converted over. This was not an easy process at all.
So,
That
do you
goes
want to
without
start or should I?
That goes without saying. But the text creator was easy. We have a different method. PC has a different method than what you guys do on the console.
Right.
Because all I had to do is follow. I forget who it was. Sorry, but it's an old Reddit post. on how to get the text creator back in the toy box. I know Brad was part of it. And I can't remember everybody else. There's like 5 people on it, but I just followed their instructions. So that's how I did it. But Leon has a different method for the text. But when we went and tried to get everything to match, to be compatible with the console from the PC or compatible with the PC, that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work. Like the amount of time that you would spend week to week just trying to make sure things were the logic in the toy box wasn't breaking, but then also all the text was lined up. So from a creator standpoint, we built our toy boxes out, knew what story beats we wanted to have in there to match like scenes from the film. And then I know Lion, I keep calling you Lion. Lion, I'm going between Leon and Lion, and I'm calling you Lion. You were really persistent on making sure that we had all the text in these toy boxes, and I'm glad you did. But talk about the process of like setting up the toy box, because from a console standpoint, I don't have access to the text. We had to convert the save file to PC, use the ability to use the text creator via the PC, get all the text placed in there, and then you would send back those files to the creators who were working on each piece or each segment of the toy box. That was a lot of work to coordinate that and set up the logic, because you're setting up logic for something that's not quite there yet. So talk about that process from the creation standpoint.
So it was a difficult process. And the good thing is some of us, such as 72 Pringle, still have the text creator on the PlayStation, but you can't use it anymore as they shut down the servers, obviously. But as we have bundles, Toybox bundles, such as the Celestia bundle, which include save file progress, and with this you unlock certain toys, such as the text creator, which also the Motor Guy used for his creations, it allowed at least them to place these toys into that toy box. So they just placed 10 Toybox text creators in there, sent me their save file, we used certain tools to decrypt them, and then we developed a tool which was able to detect the text creators in these toy boxes just by going through the files of the toy box. And then you were able to simply copy and paste the text into the right place, such as text creator 1, line 6. And the Motor Guy, for example, just sent me a document which line this would be. Then I pasted it in there, encrypted all of the things together, and then brought it back to the PlayStation and sent it to him.
Really no hard work.
No hard work at all. No. Simple as that.
What I can add to that, when you work on such a big project and you have to know what part of text you want to go where with, you have to really plan ahead. Sometimes I noticed when you add text later, sometimes the scenes don't work that much how you want it supposed to work. So planning is key here when someone is putting in the text for you.
And what about and let's talk about this actual toy box this first segment. So we're getting the story of Endgame within this like campus level. How did you guys divvy up the work here when building this?
I think BrownBat can talk a bit about it.
So Leon had a whole timeline of who does what. Then I recreated Poppa's campus, and then everything changed.
Changed out.
They're like changed out. Wow. So they're like, wow, now BrownBat, since you redid this, now you can do this and do this. Because originally Poppa was gonna.
Oh, well, can I just say so? So these guys were all working hard, working out this storyline, and I was just in my section doing my little Leviathan in the background, just doing the one thing, listening to all the coordination they were doing. I'm keeping out of that. I'm just gonna keep my head down. I was it's well too complicated, so I got the easy option.
Kudos to Lionthd for planning all these events the past few years, because it can be a pain in the butt getting all the people together, lining them up, which is uploading when. So kudos to that.
Absolutely. And not only that, but also keeping the spirit of Disney Infinity alive, right? Like, I think one of the things that really resonates with people through this game is that you could build different worlds with all these iconic Disney characters, and you could build these experiences for people to watch, play, recreate movies like we're doing here in Endgame. I remember when I had this like idea to do Endgame, like I couldn't do this by myself, no matter how I tried. Like, I don't consider myself a good toy box creator, right? Like, I've learned a lot of things through you guys. So to that point, Pringle, at times it sounded like we were building Captain America Civil War and not Endgame, because there was a lot of back and forth through creative ideas. Because one of the things I think that was different about this project, we had assigned everybody what sections they were going to work on, but then instead of just working on our own thing and then presenting it, we would do that, but there would also be a collaborative, like, here's some additions I would suggest, or make the tweak here. So how different was it building toy boxes through this way of having some of the best toy box creators in the world also give advice on what to add and, you know, how to amplify that toy box even further?
It was interesting because it was also to get rid of your egos as well, because we all got our own creative ideas, but you all got to make sure that we got to make sure they all stick on the same path. And ITHD definitely kept us on that path, because we could have all wandered off in different routes and it just wouldn't have melded in. So once we just started again, we have to kept on making sure that it was there. And I think we all were up for listening to those ideas and realizing this is just suggestions and it wasn't anything personal if they made a change, because everyone had a little tweak of something to their level.
That's right. That's right. And I remember I pitched the idea and everybody was real quiet that night. And I'm like, okay, maybe that was a dead, maybe this won't happen. And then I was like, you know what? Let's see what everybody would want to build. So I put it out. I'm like, you guys decide what you want to build and just give me whatever you don't want to build, and I'll work on that level. And it ended up that you guys chose the right stuff because everything you built was incredible. Then I had the almost impossible task of creating Vormir. So as soon as you sent that message that I had Vormir, I think I had like a template toy box done within like a week that I presented to you guys. And I remember I was so nervous to show it because, again, I've been watching Pringle stuff, man. I've seen what BrownBat can do in the modding scene. We've been seeing what you guys have submitted. Bowtie Guy, some of your toy boxes in these events over the years are just so magnificent. I was like, not how do I create this and make this work, because I knew what I ultimately wanted in the end scene of Vormir. Like I had that in my head, but I was trying to figure out how to like live up to what you guys create and also not mess it up. So the task was very daunting for me, looking up to all of you as creators. And I just want you guys to know that it kind of motivated me to like get right on Vormir and try to set the tone with something really nice, you know, for this whole project.
Well, the Vormir level that you did, that was really when you displayed that, I went, oh, right, we are taking this seriously, because it was like, wow, that is so good. We've got up our game. It was UK straight out swing, and I was like, flipping heck, I've got the pressure to really hit the level, because I just thought we were playing at it. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. And that, when you just set the tone, went, okay, right, this is serious. Holy crap, we better get moving.
And then not long after that, I remember that Lion came to us and we were in a party, and he's like, ThatBrownBat wants to come on board and work on Endgame. And we were all so blown away because we respect what you build, BrownBat, and your ability to pump out content in this game, mods or no mods, especially with the mods though, is really inspiring, man. So like that, I think that locked everybody into like another gear. It felt like we got our Iron Man to the Avengers squad. You know what I mean?
Wow. Well, maybe War Machine.
It was incredible. I mean, it was like, okay, BrownBat's going to come in. And we also gave you the task of like, it was really important because we had discussed this before. Like, do we use mods? Do we not use mods? And I think we all kind of decided that in this case, we'd want to build it just how anybody else could, you know, with the tools that are in Disney Infinity, with the exception of getting the text creator in there. which was more of a workaround than anything else. But I remember you were like, yeah, I'm going to take on the end to this entire toy box and this entire movie. And I did not know how that was going to work. I was like, wow, I'm really happy I'm working on Vormir.
Yeah, but every
Right.
building style from each of one of us is different, and there are people who are very visual, like other creators would say visual interest, and some people are more text based, which is totally great. It was fun to do your own stuff in a, let's say, certain area, which was of course Endgame.
But it was also a thing to kind of like, all of us have their own style, but somehow we had to combine this, that it doesn't feel like 10 people build it on this right 6.
True.
It's that it is one flow, as I called it.
And to that point, you were really great about staying on top of us. Like, here's how the text is going to look. Here's how the names are going to be displayed. Here's how we're going to tell the story. Like, Lion, you kind of had that foresight as we were building these, because there was no, there was so much added to these. I remember like that first version that I saw of everybody's toy box. It was like our jaws were on the floor, but like those first versions were nowhere close to what the final product was in terms of like how much was added. So yeah, that's a really great point about making sure that this didn't feel like 10 separate toy boxes and coming together. Like it was all cohesive visually and also diverse from a gameplay perspective. Because I'll be the first to admit, I'm not very good at like gameplay segments, right? But I'm good at building stuff and storytelling, to your point, Bowtie Guy. So it was really interesting to get feedback on like what variations of gameplay we could create through this toy box while also staying true to the films.
Liam was our grand poober in planning this thing.
That's, yep, 100%.
Yep.
Man, we had some sleepless night. Okay.
I mean, it's not, but this project, which gave us all sleepless nights, you had to have someone who was saying what to do now.
And they never sugarcoated it either. No. Really? It was, guys, that needs to be, we need to change that. That needs to change. We need to do that. That's wrong. Get that going. It was very.
Oh, we'll get to our feedback on New York when we get to the New York level. Trust me, that was a really fun night. But
I think
look at
time to time, yeah.
You know what's also crazy is looking back at the finished product. Obviously, we had to scale stuff back. So I remember this entire pier was built out way bigger than what we see right here, but we had to scale back because of some of the logic, some of the stuff we wanted to do. How hard was it, I guess, on this first level? Let's start with that. How hard was it to cut back on content once we started running into memory issues and like, oh, we need to add X, Y, and Z because that takes priority over having maybe more of a built out lake, right here?
It's always different when you work on a level where people worked on before. Like the big thing was made by Poppa back in the day when he was doing a how to build, and then
Who's also here, by the way, now?
he is just there.
He is here. Oh,
Yeah.
He's woken up. Oh, the
The
man,
whole-
he's woken from his
We
afternoon nap.
His mic is muted and the icons have shifted.
Okay, he's not too good on the techie stuff. We've had to help him a lot over the way on this project as well.
Well, welcome aboard. Yeah. But continue the boat, guys. Sorry.
When you work on something which was not made out of your mind, it's always difficult because you don't want to destroy what someone has already built, but you want to add your own style to it. And that was the craziest part. That's, I think, was the main reasons for people built this first level.
Yeah.
And just and to that point, like looking at this and playing through it, I'm so amazed by how deep and accurate this whole entire facility is. Like it's so incredible to me that you can create this almost 10 years later from when, 3.0 had ended around 15, 16, 9, 10 years later, and be able to still build these structures with this technology and accurately get these movie references visualized in Disney Infinity. So you guys did an incredible job setting the scene with this whole entire campus. It's so cool to look at, and yeah, look at the countdown timer right here.
I mean, this level for me, it was like, how is the memory? It just seemed to be so big. I know every time that you guys showed me this, I was like, how are you getting this all into one toy box? It was practice.
Purple, deep purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite impressive to see this, and you also recognize what it is. You know, not also the facility, but also the different scenes that you have here. I mean, this scene, for example, that we see right now, that isn't in the diner, like in Endgame, because there wasn't any memory left for it. Yeah, so they were standing outside. Yeah, you have to think outside of the box. So, and come up with solutions like this. But they work, you know, and the people are.
But I love that though, because Lion, like, as you know, we talked about not losing that Disney Infinity charm to the toy boxes, right? Like we wanted to have the townspeople talking to each other because it makes Disney Infinity so unique. And it's something that I think is so fun to remember, like townspeople, such a simple concept, but it's so fun to see them utilized in various toy boxes over the years that people have created.
You can use the same pieces to use it for different styles, different, if it's Marvel, if it's Star Wars, it doesn't matter. You can use the same pieces over and over again. And then I always say, when it could be mistaken for the right thing you want to achieve, it's fine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that was probably the biggest challenge of this whole thing was, I mean, especially like talking to Poppa and Pringle specifically, because they've done so many creations, like outside of the Disney universe or outside of Disney IPs. Like you guys have always been able to really create these amazing structures and logic, or as I call like 72 Pringle magic, right? Like just legendary logics that you've put into these toy boxes over the years. Like it was fun to hear your guys' brain work on trying to solve problems, but also like make this the best it could be in like for everybody's toy box, right? Like, because we were given feedback for everybody during this process.
Yeah. But it was also something to consider with this toy box project. It wasn't only that we decided to recreate Endgame in the toy box. It was also the fact that so many great creators came together to create this toy box. This was a big thing. I think it happened once back then when the servers were still online with a different toy box. The Toy Box Awakens, this one, was it?
Yeah.
But there was also another difference. After 10 years, this happens now, or this happened, yeah. But we all knew that this toy box would be available for download, which was also a new thing that wasn't possible a year ago.
That admits us to go as a question. Did anybody think about uploading it for the community when you build it? Did you build like, this is an upload for everyone now? Did you build it differently?
I think we did, right? Because we did talk about this was the celebration of Disney Infinity's 10-year anniversary, Disney Infinity 3.0 specifically. So building within the tools that Disney Infinity 3.0 gave us, there were definitely things that we wanted to do that we had to be like, well, if the users Vormir is a great example when we get there, like there's mountain ranges. I can't have people jumping off the side. So what happens if they jump off, or what happens if there's no barrier here, right? We had to think about somebody playing the toy box and not just it being like relegated to a showcase. Yeah, exactly.
You know, someone of you gave me an advice back in the day. It was 2 or 3 years ago. Think about how the player would see it, with all, let's say, blocks for blocking them off to fall off cliffs or anything. That's what it's important, because you can go into Spark mode and see everything. So always think about that.
Yeah, one thing I found I was going to mention this before, and we talked about it earlier about getting us all designers together. One thing I noticed with this is it just shows you how good Infinity is and still is, because I learned so much from everybody there, because we all did things slightly different. And so when we were problem solving, there was things that I hadn't seen before, like, oh, that's a good idea. How the hell did you do that? And I was still learning a heck of a lot more stuff. It just showed you how good this this tool was, what waste Disney has, because it was so good. And I learned loads doing it with you guys. It was amazing.
It's funny you say that because I was in awe listening to the conversations. And like, even when I was doing stuff and you guys, there was one night where you guys were laughing at me and you're like, you're pretty much wasting like 40 minutes every time you're doing this instead of just doing like a button to reset everything for like a level starter. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of the noob out of the bunch, because you guys just know all the tips and tricks, but it was really admirable to like listen to the conversations and see how some of the magic happens and how your brains work. So like, Brown Bat, I remember the night that we were talking about camera work and you mentioned to me that you hadn't worked with cameras. Back in the day, I had built the toy box that ended up in the Toy Box TV weekly show, the top 5, but it was soaring over California, the ride, and I used a lot of camera work on rails, and it was crazy to teach you something because all I do from you is learn, right? So it was fun to see you take that, then implement it in your Endgame toy box. So was there anything, Brown Bat, for you that like you learned from somebody outside of, like, obviously outside the camera work, but is there anything that stood out to you when watching some of these toy boxes and discussing them?
Leon taught me something that he thought I knew, but I had no idea. And that was during the fix. Everything was during the fix for the PC. And there's an issue with connecting the flying vehicles to path creators. And he was getting frustrated, but that's a story, I guess, for later, maybe. But I figured it out, but I'm like, I can't remember what sparked this. It was something to do with...
Tell me, what was it?
Was it the vehicle mechanics you can switch on and off?
It was the vehicle mechanics, but he showed me you can stop the character. I said, what's going to stop the character from getting in the vehicle or the player from getting in this and flying off and just doing whatever they want? He goes, you can make the vehicle inactive. I'm like, get out. And now,
I even don't know that.
Right now, I don't remember how he told me to do it, but there's a setting. You can go
What's the challenge maker?
With the challenge maker, and you can say something like the character can't ride the vehicle or something like that. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Only walk. Yeah.
What?
I remember that one of the problems I remember when I did my Soren toy box back in the day was I didn't know about the challenge maker to like disable camera function to go into spark mode. That would have saved me a lot of headaches from when people were trying out my toy box back in the day and you'd be seated and people would hit that spark mode thinking they needed to press a button and they'd get out of the camera modes, which would break the whole toy box. So yeah, I think we used it on our toy boxes in the end using that challenge maker because I also didn't know that. That was something that I learned for the first time, which was really helpful, but also dangerous. Don't use it until you have a backup save of your finalized toy box because everything can go wrong and they mess it up.
I learned it the hard way. Leon told me about the camera and how to disable the camera text, which is better. It gives you a more suitable experience. But I didn't save it with an off switch button for the camera and the game maker.
Been using on one of these toy boxes?
No. It was back in the day my underwater toy box with what was it called? I call it Violet's Underwater Experience Adventure. Yep.
Now, what we found, you can still override it. You just keep
really
spamming the. I always call it select because I'm old school. I don't know what button you call it these days. What do you kids call the left? The left tiny button. It used to be select on Nintendo.
Yeah. It's like options on PlayStation and back button on Xbox, or I don't know what's on PC.
You keep hitting it, and then you'll eventually go into spark mode. I think that's the button.
Interesting.
Whatever button you go into spark mode.
I have to test.
Whatever button. We did it on Asgard many times. Many times.
The more you know. I didn't even know that. So let me have something right here, this commentary.
Whatever the spark, whatever button you go into spark mode. I think it's that little button.
Okay. That it just happened on PlayStation.
I also want to say how cool it is, like seeing these cutscenes play out. I know we're talking over them right now, but Lion, you were really adamant about putting all this text in there and telling the story of Endgame. And I remember I was like kind of against it at first. There's like a lot of like creative input that everybody put into everybody's toy boxes. And I remember I was like, I don't know. I don't want to slow the toy. I am so glad we did this. It makes it feel so grandiose and bigger. I thought it just added an element to this whole entire experience when you're playing Endgame. You're really getting the Endgame experience with the text. So I just want to say bravo to Lion for really pushing us to add text, even though it was like so much work for you. I mean, Lion, you put in so many hours just converting these toy boxes, adding the logic in via PC, sending it back. Like, you're the MVP here, buddy.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it was work. What this was, you know what I always said when someone came to me and said, "Hey man, I'm exhausted. This is too much. Yeah, sleepless nights. I can't pay the rent. Lost my job. Lost my everything." Yeah, I says, "Okay, but this is Endgame. This is Endgame. Doesn't matter. Don't cry. You can cry later. Yeah, but this is Endgame. Give your best. Yeah, and this is what I also did."
Oh yeah.
I said that multiple times to everybody here. Everybody here.
And then
that became the slogan.
I fed it back to him when we were converting this over. And he's like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to see this again.
There were definitely points where all of us where it was like hitting a breaking point of like, it was either a technical issue or something wasn't working right. And I remember there were definitely like issues that came up that we could not fix via the toy box logic. And we had to build creative workarounds in terms of the logic in these toy boxes. And that was the saying.
Right.
This is Endgame. We don't take shortcuts. We're not going to get rid of this idea to make it easier on us because, you know, that's not what the Avengers did.
By the way of tiering, it is interesting to see how many things you can solve with having a great camera work.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Or things you can hide.
Yeah. By the way, I was really worried at one point that Leon would say, no, I'm going put myself into a clinic because every one of us nagged him to put the text in. Which he always said, yeah, it's no big deal. It's no problem. But I think if, you know what I mean, it was a lot of work.
And by the way, talking about camera work, how cool is this camera work?
This is one of my favorite shots. I love this right here.
This scene when we were working on the PC version.
Hey, bro.
I'm like, Leon, why is Gamora here?
Yeah, because on the PC version, that's not my bad, because you can see every character is correct, but on the PC version, it switched out. They switched out one character to Gamora. I don't know what.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff that converted over. Like logic would completely break camera tool, and then instead of just fixing one thing, you would have to like fix the entire logic sequence, which I know BrownBat was super thrilled about in the final levels of this Endgame toy box because your logic was so insane. But let's talk about Asgard. All right, bow tie guy.
Please don't. This Bifrost gave me a really big headache.
I have to say, he's known as quote unquote Fat Thor, and what an idea to make so have a little Fat Thor, right? And this worked because the big head, I guess, visual effect affected Thor's body. Isn't he like the only character that gets bloated when you use that effect?
You could use what is the Christmas character I used.
Gotcha. This is just look at this. I just want to look at how sick Asgard looks. I mean,
this gave me the biggest headache, by the way, because it didn't look right a few times. I broke it down all the way, and Leon is responsible. This palace has a second floor.
Yes, that's right. In fact, this was a larger area. I remember you showing me like it was much larger, but we had to have space for the logic, and you had to cut back. And I just have to say, it doesn't feel like anything was cut back when you look at this. This scene right here with the Bifrost Bridge and Thor and Rocket. This might the legend Bifrost.
The Bifrost Bridge, Infinity Ring, was the first one I built when we were still in the Männerabend crew podcast on PlayStation. because I just put down 2 or 3 roads and said, yeah, I'm finished. I'm in.
Yeah, but that dome work though, that dome work with all the path tools to make that dome do that is just phenomenal. And that alone on its own should have its own level, but then you've got everything else. I was blown away when I saw this.
And this is also what is great, because it's good that you mentioned that. You'll be like, yeah, this should be its own level. And just that you guys realize this. This is the second toy box out of 10. This is just one toy box. You know, this could be a standalone toy box and it would kill everything. But this is just one of the gems that you get in this amazing adventure.
And for those wondering, technically, this was all going to be under the umbrella of one download. So you would play Endgame and have all 10 toy boxes there. There were some issues that we had to reach out to former developers, that there were just issues that would prevent us, that were bugs in 3.0 that they never were able to fix, that prevented us from having all 10 toy boxes like tied together. So we got what I think it's 7, and then the last 3 brown bats standalone. Is that right?
Let's think so.
Is that how you worked it out, Leon?
It's around 50-50. It is in the first toy box part, you get all the stones, you know, the headquarters, and then all the stones. Yeah, it is 7-3, I think. Yeah. And then you have the final boss battle across.
And man, fought and weeks trying to figure that out. That was so frustrating that we couldn't get all 10 together, but it doesn't take away from how amazing all this is. I mean, I love this fight here. I love also the camera work, like just zooming in and seeing the 2 trees on the right and left, the camera work changing to being a front camera when you're crossing the Bifrost Bridge, like Bowtie Guy. This is beautiful, man. This is Asgard.
Yeah, I have to admit something. Of course, I was inspired by a fellow YouTuber who built.
Yes.
Of course, it's. Of course, I was mentioning the. I'm too old. I'm too old to remember all the.
Vox, of course. Thank you. And shout out.
Oh yeah, of course. Thanks for his input, for his build, but I wanted to give it my own style, my own vibe, and I knew, but Leon was said it. It's just because they are there not to explore any big side missions, just to get the 1 stone. But how do you do it to make it visually more interesting? So what you saw on the left a few seconds ago, I always wanted to put in this piece. No one uses this at all. And I thought, well, this works perfectly for Asgard.
I would go for say. Yeah, I do want to add in there while you're talking. Sorry to interrupt, but no. Originally we had, you know, Professor Toybox. Obviously, if you've never checked out his channel, I've learned so much from him. I know we've all watched his tutorials. One of the greatest Toybox creators, and somebody who can very elegantly convey how to do these logic techniques within the toy box. But we wanted to invite him in to work on this, but there was no technology. He plays on the Wii U. There was no technology to get Wii U save files converted, so it wouldn't have been able to work out. So I don't know if he knows that. I don't know if we've ever talked about that, but of course we would have loved to have more hands on deck. So Professor, if you're out there, and you know, I don't know if there's any upcoming Marvel Avengers movies, yeah, maybe we'll chip in for a PlayStation and you can help us out on the next project if there's one. But yeah, no, this is I love how the palace right here is so incredible. The visuals of it, and talk about what you did with the townspeople and everything that's happening right here as you're walking through the palace.
What was planned, of course, Leon mentioned there is who was invading during the same time period? The Black. Leon, what did you say? The Blackfoot, yes. And Leon said, why don't you put in a lot of townspeople suitable for this toy box inside the palace? And what was planned? That we put in a few texts that mentioning, "Ooh, Lord Thor, you got fat," something like that, you know. But it didn't work because the toy box was so full at the end.
But we can say now it works. We updated it after the playthrough. But so it is in the new version, but not in this playthrough. So I went into this level to fix a few things, But this is the last time that I went into this toy box, yeah, because I can't see it anymore.
And I do want to add, if you want to watch the full playthrough, you're seeing the same playthrough that's on my channel. That's I know there's no music in there. It was more like a copyright thing for YouTube, but these do have music in them when you download them, and they add a lot. I know we're watching that playthrough here because we all kind of wanted to watch it simultaneously and together as we're discussing things. And man, the architecture in here is really incredible. By the way, is Poppa's mic working? Do we have Poppa back?
It is unmuted a few minutes ago.
Yeah, he sent me a message. It is working, but there's background noise right now.
Background noise. Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever
He's probably snoring. Is what he
yeah. He's asleep. We're boring him. Whenever you can, Poppa, jump in here for sure because we gotta talk. But yeah, this is just incredible stuff.
Let me tell you a funny story, by the way. When I was finished with my first attempt to build it, it was yellow. The level meter was yellow. And then I talked to Leon, and it came back and forth, and I added a second floor, and then the level meter was red. But it gave us the great opportunity to put in more story. Like,
so what
to see all.
was it? I know it was frustrating when we were all discussing, like, yeah, but only if you added this, right? Because it wasn't like critiques. It was more like perfecting all the ideas. And how did it make you feel, Bowtie? Because this was new for everybody on this project. How did it make you feel to get input from all these other great creators and like implement it?
that was my biggest issue, and it's not a negative issue, to giving up the control. You know, when you're a small builder and you're very excited about what you build, what kind of levels you create, and then giving up the control for something you've built. That was my biggest issue, actually. But it's not negative. It's just, it was for me just a new experience.
It was because this.
I think you all had the same. Well, had the same type of issue. I think that's the same type of issue as well. If, like you say, you do that work, and also an adjustment is not 2 seconds. An adjustment, that's 3 hours. Let's say just add this. Okay, you go. You do know that's 3 hours work. I just spent, but they were the right adjustments to make. But yeah, giving that control away once you
and we'll get to perhaps the most iconic critique out of any of these toy boxes, which is your toy box, Pringle. We'll get to that when we arrive in New York. But
when I also realized when it comes to when it comes to all the creators, including me, it was also the fact that you built a toy box, you put in all the effort, tried your best, you gave your best, but then you remember this is just 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 toy boxes. This isn't the main toy box that you just drop as a single standalone video or so. No, this is 1 out of 10. And this is hard to accept somehow, I think, because this was the first time we did this.
First time we did this, and we also had to think about how to transition between each toy box because we wanted to tell the story of Endgame, how the user experience would be. And also cinematically and just like the cohesiveness between each one, right? Like having something as simple as like the characters' names capitalized on the text boxes, right? Like all that stuff has to be thought out about. It's not by accident that, everything needs to look like it was built by one team. And that was something that was at times frustrating, but also just so cool to like work together on, even when we were losing our minds at points over just stuff being broken, or like, how are we going to add that if I'm in a red meter? I know that there was a big chunk that you had to pull out of this just to make some of the memory logic work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I built different levels. I always think, because I love secret entrances. I love like a Batman cave somewhere hidden, somewhere where you don't see it in the first place. But cutting off things I already built in. I wanted to, for example, building the cave where Loki is imprisoned, where and I'm sorry, I have problems with names, where Rocket is going by to get the stone.
For sure. I mean, I gotta say though, just seeing, I love this part. I love you and Ida. Like it's so good. We got all the text in there. It just adds so much to these toy boxes.
Oh yeah, it's a whole new experience.
It really is.
Definitely. And when you do it for the first place, it's kind of creepy, I would say, because you don't know how it works. But then it's like a cohesive combination of greatness.
Yes. Then of course we got Poppa's toy box. So Poppa, welcome to the club. Let's go. Poppa H in the building with Morag 2014. All right, let's talk about this, Poppa. Welcome in. And we've just been kind of cutting it up about the challenges of building, and let's talk about this Morag. So you're taking this level, and what was the design philosophies going into it?
Okay, so the basic design was done a long time ago for something called Star-Lord's Quest, which I had a video up on. And we realized that we've got Morag already. So what I wanted to do is sort of take it, rip it apart a little bit, and then make it different, like an alternative toy box. And as I went into it, I realized, yeah, this could work. And with a bit of mentorship from the rest of the team as well, and just popping it up and sharing it, you know, it started to evolve a little bit more. And I got to a point where I thought, okay, it's looking good now. And then there was a big chunk missing, a big chunk missing. And that was Sanctuary 2, which needed to go in. Just needed to go in. And after Leon said, yeah, you need this ship in there, I was like, yes, it does. It does need it. It does, because otherwise it's pretty much the same as it was. You know, there's nothing real special about it.
And you didn't add the ship in until later when BrownBat had showed us like I'm not going to say an early version, but an early build of the ship where he was like, this is what I'm doing. This is what it's going to look like. And then you worked on the ship after that. So, you know, this was a months long project, and it always blew me away to see how we took inspiration from other toy boxes. Cause it wasn't like we all shared at the same time, right? We were all working on stuff. We saw some toy boxes later than others, but, one of the things I loved about this level in particular is like this beginning part. We're talking about gameplay diversity, like blowing up some of these crystals. It was something I did in a Frozen toy box a couple of years ago. I really liked the idea of like breaking stuff in toy boxes and collecting. So like, how did this come about to go around and explore the area?
Well, originally, you didn't do that as you came in. You just went straight for the mission area. But it was something that Leon put in to give it a bit more diversity as you came into the map, that you explored a little bit first and then went into the mission. And it's a great idea. I was like, yeah, let's roll with that.
You know what's funny is I remember, Leon, we were talking about it, and I was like, we have to do this because you built all this stuff on the side, but you don't really come over here. And I remember that's what kind of inspired, and I'm so glad you did, because look it up.
What is the full? What is the? It is beautiful, and what's also a problem, I mean, with all the toy boxes you could say that we built,
basically it is just
get to the place, get the stone, that's it.
Right.
And for a toy box, in the movie it works, but in the toy box, this is quite
in a game. Yeah, you have to make a game out.
This isn't a game, yeah. Correct. So you have to collect crystals, go around, see the beautiful planet Morag the Poppa created. So what we did for most of the toy boxes, including Asgard, for example. Yeah, as Ulf said. Yeah, as the protagonist.
And Poppa, I am so jealous of your builds, man. Like this is so breathtaking right here with the dual doors coming down, and then just look at this interior right here. This is so cool, man. How do you come up with like creating all these different structures? Because you're such a master at and dare I say, like, no disrespect to anybody else, but I think Poppa, you've kind of set the bar on what you can build in terms of structures. And you know, you built Galactus, a working Galactus at Disney Infinity years ago. I mean, it's mind blowing to see small things even like this, and just some of your work across the board. Like, how do you get the inspiration to come up with these designs?
Now, when I was younger, I was really into art, and I got an appreciation for that, and sketching stuff and Marvel comics and all sorts of things. So that helps with the Marvel side of things. But also for a job, I work in construction, so I get a bit of an unfair advantage in some things. but it doesn't always show through because I'm building in a fantasy universe, not in a real one. So it's a little bit different. But no safety barriers on that map. but I think it's just playing a lot of different games. I get inspiration from that, and also just what I feel plays nicely in Infinity as well. And I don't. I try not to leave any hard edges where I can. It's quite hard to do in Disney Infinity. In all fairness, it's one of the restrictions of the game.
And Poppa built lots of blocks. When Poppa built the Edna Mode house back in the day, you could really see what his background is in building.
Yeah.
The architect.
I've watched old videos from like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and people will call you out, Poppa, being like, yeah, I built this my way. But if you really want to see like probably the best builder, check out Poppa's channel, because I mean, some of the stuff you've built has been so inspiring. You helped me on mine, and I'll talk more about that when we get to Vormir. But I just love listening to insight from all of you. Like, you and Bowtie Guy gave me so much advice on mine. Really helped out a lot. Just made the toy box completely better than it had any right to be.
We did? I thought we were sitting around having fun together with Disney Infinity.
No, I listen, everything you guys told me, I had a notepad out and I was like, yeah, I gotta learn, because not too often you get to sit next to people who've been creating in these worlds for so long and have these different diverse ideas of how they create toy boxes. It's like, I said this at the top, Poppa, before you got in, but I felt like I was the odd man out. I'm like, yeah, we got the best toy box creators in the world, and this Disney Infinity news guy, I hope I can live up to their standards. I was just like, so I had to really think about how to do Vormir, and I'll talk more about that when we get there. But one thing I want to point out here that was really cool is you have this invisible rail through this water right here.
This is the little touches sometimes, like in the movie, in the scene, he slides across he's sliding into the music, and it needed to be that.
Let me ask you, Poppa, how did he do that, by the way?
That is with a path creator, and you can ride it like a rail slide. If you go into the settings and have a little look through the settings, you can make it like an invisible rail slide. So it is there. It's there. It's an obscure one. It's not one that you'd usually use a path creator for, and that's probably why you're asking the question, to be fair, because it's not an obvious one.
Or that I really like is just have you how good this stone is in there. It is like in the movie, so creative.
So cool. The architecture here is incredible because, for most of us that are like humans and not super building heroes, we have to just put a block here, block there, block there. It's incredible to look at right here. It's so good.
But I think this is also the best thing. You see something like that, or the whole planet. For example, the whole Morag planet. You see it and you be like, oh yeah, that's from Endgame. This is what you think. And this is what we wanted to achieve. That when you're actually in the toy box, you'll be like, okay, this is the movie. This is not just inspired by the movie. No, this is the movie. This is the movie.
It feels familiar, even though, it's not quite the same. But yeah, it's as perfect as we could try and get it, I think. Yeah. We've tried our best and worked really hard to get.
I mean, just our first gameplay of Endgame. That's over. There's no other game.
That's right. There hasn't been representation of any Endgame source material in any kind of game since Endgame came out, which is sad. You've had skins, that have come to Fortnite, or some stuff in Marvel Rivals, sure, but like, you haven't had a true Endgame experience. And I think that's what was so appealing about this is like, could we take a game that hasn't been updated in 10 years because it ended in 2015, 2016, and can we actually make Endgame? And I think we achieved that in spades. Like, we were really hard on ourselves, and the collaborations drove us crazy at times because it's like, oh man, if I add that in there, I'm going to have to rework all my logic from the ground up, and that's going to take hours, days, weeks. But I mean, we really pushed each other to the max, and you can see that in the end product, in my opinion.
Infinity Ring, I don't want to be disrespectful. The game was indeed updated because we are in it. We build with it. And that's the update everyone needed to get more inspiration what to do with it at all.
That's true. That's true. Yep. A lot of the, I mean, this kind of toy box wouldn't have been possible without people that have continued to create in the game, play the game, be passionate about the game.
And also to figure out toy box sharing as well.
And it's toy box.
Well, it wasn't, yeah.
Which came out about 6 months earlier to this project being started. It was fairly in its infancy at that point.
Yeah. So this was also new for all of us, that we can actually share this and can combine PC toy boxes with PlayStation toy boxes all into one and then share it so that you can play it on PlayStation as well as on PC.
And when you're playing it or watching it, the jaw will be on the floor when you see this ship come into the scene. So, Bowtie Guy, let's talk about it. You had the daunting task of building the ship, which then had to be passed down to creating
was combat. No, that was not bad. Yeah. Really, I would love to have to give get the credit for it, but that was not.
I just funny. yes, Brown Bat. How did you go about making the ship? And this cutscene is so sick, by the way. I love this.
I just looked at pictures and then built it, and then I was working on uploading the tutorial for Poppa, which took forever to get uploaded. And 5 minutes before it was done, he goes, "How about this?" And I said, I quit. Because he looked at what I did and he made it better. I'm like, well, I'm not ripping mine apart to add another, because it looks like it has muscles to it. When you see mine, it's kind of skinny.
You know what though? I think we can forgive you when people find out like the logic of what you actually did with the ship and that.
Oh, with all the and
absolutely,
and it works so wonderful on the PC. But we'll talk about that later.
So dead. All right, Vormir Wono team. So this was a daunting toy box to build because this is a very short scene in the movie. Even though we saw a little bit more of Vormir, I would say in Infinity War, this was something that I had to go back, watch a lot of reference videos on, and also just be like, well, I can't just start at the top of the mountain. I knew what I wanted the end to be, but this was really helpful. You guys helped me out here with getting Hawkeye to follow you around. I thought that was a really cool thing to have happen in this toy box. Also caused a lot of headaches. But, I feel like been asking you guys questions. You guys have any questions about Vormir?
Absolutely. I have a question. So when you used all these pieces, did you have it sketch? Did you just put them down and see what worked? How did you go about? I mean, the terrain blocks, unless you're using like something that's perfectly square, are not the easiest thing to build with unless you are good.
You're a mountain expert, yeah.
unless you're Poppa H, yeah. Which I am not Poppa H. So I knew that I wanted a door here and to have some gameplay element. So Leon actually helped me with having this gameplay element where you have to collect a couple things, and I wanted to Disney Infinity-ify it with this like lift. So I think this was Bowtie Guy or Leon's idea. But as far as placing it down, I just wanted it to look cool. So I wanted some misty water. I didn't want it to just be flat in a mountain because I wanted the mountain to feel like a grand entrance. So this first part is kind of I was just kind of really just placing stuff down. I built this part right here to the left first because I wanted to look cool with waterfalls,
This camera angle, which shows the cannon, was perfect. That was absolutely genius.
Yeah, so for work, I work in production. So I love camera angles and filming things, right? That's something that's close to my heart. So when I originally did my first toy box, which was Soren, I'm not very good at gameplay stuff, right? That's where I kind of fall short at as a toy box creator. But the camera work, the storytelling, this one was really great. And actually, it was funny because I had built this logic, and then Leon showed me a very fast way to work around. He was like, you didn't need to tie in 40 logic things together, which you could do in like 5. And I'm like, oh, cool. But I knew I wanted this door to open. So I thought collecting all the stuff with.
And after this, we have something very unique in the Endgame Adventure toy boxes. We have a 2D section. Was that all the end before, or was that just a random idea that you got?
No, I wanted it to be 2D while you climb the mountain because I wanted to build something that visually looks big, but you know, in the movie, it's like they're at the they land, they're climbing up around a mountainside, and then they're at the destination. So I was like, with all the gameplay stuff that you're doing, because I don't have enemies in this toy box, right? Because why would it?
Yep.
I wanted it to feel like you're traversing up to your destination. So to be fair, this was all trial and error and placing things together to make it look good. There's a lot of barriers here, so you don't jump off. That was definitely a challenge because barriers do have a lot of logic. But yeah, I kind of had these ideas to string stuff together. And then the hard part about it was I thought it looked so good. And then these guys quickly pointed out that all those rocks in the background, they can't look blocky and you have to like texturize them so it doesn't look like square blocks everywhere. And that was like, how am I going to do this? But I did find, I think the theme is it Willow? It's from Brave, right?
The Brave.
The Brave one looked amazing because it kind of matches. Yeah. Thank you. It kind of matches like the orange glow from that stone. So I really, with how this toy box played out, I really loved the way that the terrain looked. And then I think that Poppa H's idea to change the sky right here was awesome.
Yeah, it changes the light. If you change the lighting with the sky, it makes a massive difference. I think everyone, they would agree with that. The shadows are different. The color of the blocks are different. Everything can change just by one simple sky dome change in that.
Yeah. Do you guys adjust the gamma levels in the game for one of your levels?
Gamma levels, like if it's too dark, especially if you put it to YouTube, if you've got very dark levels, sometimes it's worth playing with.
I did this for this one. I did this for this gameplay record because this is me who played through all the things. I did this before. Yeah, I did this.
Too bad you can't save that.
Yeah.
So
that's something. But the users will have their own preferences.
Preference.
That's all right. But by the way,
The one-way monitors are different too.
Yep.
Yeah. But either way, I'm wondering, how was it possible that Hawkeye is still there?
So this was actually, there was some logic that if he falls off twice, he kind of is lost. So I had to account for that. So there's logic that he will not follow you up lifts for whatever reason. I talked to Professor Toybox about this. I talked to you guys. And for whatever reason, if Hawkeye decides if you don't pick him up the lifts, then he will kind of disappear through this traversal up the mountain. However, there's a cutscene that I added later on where he will reappear for the end cutscene. So whether he makes it up the mountain with you physically or not, the key is to picking him up and taking him up those lifts. Because if you don't do that, he will not continue to follow you. And I tried every kind of logic. It was one of the things that was like it was giving me a lot of sleepless nights. I also added this waterfall in here because I thought visually it just looked really cool to climb up the left side here and see like the waterfall. The way the train pieces work, I couldn't have two of them. I would have had it all behind a waterfall, but it didn't work that way.
And don't forget the sound infiniteering.
Oh yeah. We have the wind blowing sound effects when you're ascending the mountain, which was a really cool touch. And learned about the locators and how to amplify that, make it louder, all that kind of stuff. So gives it a real feel of like, I didn't want it to be too long, but I wanted it to feel like you're going up this mountain to go get an Infinity Stone because, the stone is a soul for a soul, so it better be a damn good climb if you're getting up there.
Can I just say,
because in the movie, it isn't a long scene to try and build that image, and I think you did really well to stretch it out and make it into a challenge and. It's really, really good. I really do like that one a lot,
The cool thing is
go ahead.
The cool thing is when you're in 2D, the smallest section of your toy box can be very big because you don't see that little from time to time.
And it took a lot of trial and error.
I built once a few years back a Star Wars toy box in 2D, and Leon was going overboard because he didn't know where he was.
Now, this was really fun. So I had watched the film. I had pictures on my iPad. I was literally like, how can I make this look like an epic place where you get the Soul Stone, the arched terrain there, and then these structures. I nailed this on the first try. Like once I built this, that was it. It was pretty cool.
Can I interrupt? Because you knew you nailed it. Because when you showed us this, you were so blatant. You could just see how happy you are. Look at this, and it was like, hit it out of focus. This guy's eyes. There you go. Look at this. It was.
I remember the call. I remember the calls. You know that you out of nowhere got from Infiniteering, and he was like, "Guys, check this out! What I just spent my day on it." Yeah,
I feel like Poppa and Pringle H had a baby, and Brown Bat was there witnessing. It was so cool because this is exactly how I had this portion. Everything when you come out of the cave, I had all this camera work in my head before I even built it. Down here, though, the terrain down here, Poppa H definitely helped with making that look more rugged and stuff, and the smoke and stuff. So this got added. And then the challenge was, of course, we used the same tech that when Ant-Man falls through the machine in your toy box, you helped me with this. So then I knew how I wanted the camera work to be. So you jump through the hole. I mean, he yells.
It took me hours. It took me hours to figure this out because during this time I already worked on my Ant-Man toy on the side for this Endgame project. Finished the whole logic, and then I saw this toy box and was like, okay, I have to give it to him. Yeah, because he needs it more than I do. Okay.
It took me 3 minutes. It took Leon about 3 days, and then just having the camera work zoom in on Clint there. I'm really proud of that toy box, and I have to say, I feel like I did my best work to like live up to what you guys create.
Yeah.
And I say that already used for the basic blocks, the blue one was on point.
Yeah, it looks really good. Really, really like foreign and epic and exotic, which that toy box was all about. Now, one of my favorite parts, Poppa H. This is not your toy box. This is actually Pringles.
Okay, I'm going to take credit for it if you're going to give it.
Poppa H. When Pringles showed us the Leviathan for the first time, you've built so many structures. What was your reaction to seeing that?
Is that? Oh my goodness! I know I'm.
No.
It's so incredible.
He hasn't shown it to us. It was like a week before we released it that he showed it to us.
Yeah, this was the last toy box that we saw, and I remember Pringle kept saying, and Pringle, I'm gonna give you a chance to speak in a minute, but one of my favorite stories is this whole thing. Pringle said, hell, guys, I don't know. I have something in the works. I don't know if it's gonna live up to yours. And then I remember the day you were ready to show us, and we were like silent the whole time. I mean, this was the craziest thing I've ever seen built in Disney Infinity. Legitimately, like this was so insane. The portal up top, the tower, the ships coming out, like
when I showed you this, you were deadly. All of you were silent. I'm going, oh god, it's not right. And then the first thing you said was, grass is wrong.
Yeah, see, Anthony's a bright. He like, grass is the wrong color. That was the first thing. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, we're all laughing, and he's like, so what do you think, guys? And we're like, well, why didn't you texture the grass? That was our only critique.
Yeah.
It was so good.
But mom, it's not a golf club.
Okay, but what you didn't realize though was, right, you showed me all your levels, which is great. I'm going, look at these. And the only thing I had was the Leviathan. I had nothing else. And I tried to get the Leviathan to go through the street, crashing through the buildings, blowing all up. I did one section of it, which I never told you guys, but it went all the way down the street, going from side to side. So I had explosions all set up, and it just wouldn't work. The moment it's like, no. So I then, a week before my deadline to give you the clip, I binned the whole city and rebuilt it again. So I had to take days off work. I felt I could breathe it. And how do I use the knife? And I'm panicking. All I've got is one flying monster, and that is it. And then Otai's going, I've got another level here. I've got this level here. I've got this level. I go, stop building stuff.
Now I want to bring it was just 5 levels, not much.
I know. You're just showing it about every. Oh, I just had a break. Here's another level. Where did that come from?
Now I love this. So here's a problem, right? We don't have a Loki boss, but we need Hulk to fight Loki. And while this fight is going on, you have the Leviathan crashing into the ground while you're fighting the boss. But then Leon had the great idea. Loki can use magic to pose as other people. So that's kind of how we played this boss fight with Loki. Like he's posing as another character. And I love seeing the Leviathan crash is insane, man. How many block pieces is that Leviathan?
Oh, there's over 150 in there at least.
So 150 that you had to
All connected to a path.
all connected to one path, meaning that you have to like shift over all the pieces piece by piece to make sure they all connect. Like how many hours did
It took a lot because the Leviathan's built in 5 sections, so they're all on 5 different paths, and they're all different levels. So that was a nightmare. And then obviously I had to keep moving them, so I had to keep on jumping them onto different paths so I could reposition them around the map. So because it didn't work, I'd have to then relink them to another path so I could move them to another area of the map, delete the path, build something, and then move the path back, and then jump it back. It was a nightmare, absolutely freaking nightmare.
and it was just well.
It's
If that's not enough, Pringle, you have the vortex of where the ships are coming through the portal with the effects and the ships blowing up. Like, how long did that take you?
Well, so I got the thought. I thought, okay, we'll do the portal. I know what I'm doing. I did the whirlpool before, so I know what I'm doing there. And as I started building the vortex, I realized that the whirlpool was a nightmare, an absolute disaster. Why am I doing this? You're an idiot. Because I knew what I had to do, but it's just all the pieces. Because there's like 400 pieces for that thing. So it's just like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Why did I choose that? But I needed something to look like a black hole. Because it wouldn't work otherwise from that distance. So I thought I'd done this, and I was too committed then.
It's like such an incredible set piece that I'm so glad that you put in the effort to make that happen. But you know, the grass color stood out change. It was really the grass being a bright grass. We're like, you build a Leviathan, a portal with ships coming through it, and whole Avengers battle, Hulk flying through the city of New York, but you can't get the grass right? Like,
I know. Oh, this is and
Who cares for grass?
right. This is another thing I didn't notice though, because I positioned these buildings here. So I tested it so I could jump perfectly to a double jump all the way across. But if I didn't realize that if you don't upgrade your character, you can't double jump. So when Lionthd was doing this, he couldn't make it across. He goes, "We haven't done it further enough." So I think it was you, Poppa, that said, "We'll check a pipe in."
Yeah.
I see one did go so in a second to it.
It's still hard. You know.
They made it into says, "Yeah, but Charlie, but at least you could just make it with a normal jump."
I love that. I love that name. Names out too, because we all test. I mean, Leon was testing our toy boxes when we were sending them over, and he would find stuff that we'd have to go back and fix constantly.
And by the way, Leon at one point made a calculation what this whole toy box with 10 levels would cost if the hours we put in would be paid for.
Oh, it'd be ridiculous, wouldn't it?
If you found
Is that I'm
yeah.
I got to share this bit as well because
long was free.
Yeah. My bag was free as well, socially.
Just the boat I go. Just the boat.
I'm going to share this bit though. I'm going to show this bit. Lionthd made an adjustment here to the page because I had him freezing, and he switched it to the hologram, which was the right choice to do. All right. So when you like hand over, you've created a thing, and someone makes an adjustment, and they went, "Yep, you've done right here." But when he freezes at the moment, that was the right thing to do. But he then does a different angle, which I wasn't happy with. I went, "That's the wrong angle." But this was correct. So I'm going to give you 10 out of 10 for this change. But the other one, I still think you're wrong.
It's so cinematic. I mean, we really had to direct these shots with cameras. I mean, we all had input on different cameras and stuff, you know. But it was so cool. BrownBat, what was your thoughts when you saw the Leviathan?
When I saw it, I was speechless.
I can recall what you said, BrownBat. You said, "I don't have to make one of those, do I?"
Yeah, because there's what, 2 of them in that final fight. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And, yeah,
You were
like,
not happy. I'm not making that.
And just using this, going back to this effect too, like just having him look like his, he's in I forget what they call in the MCU film. I'm sure people in the comments gonna be like, it's called this. But being in the plane, I think it's called, away from your body. What a great effect here.
Oh, the astral plane?
The astral plane. Thank you.
Is that what you-
Yeah.
Just so cool. So cool. The little details.
It's a cool scene. It's also a cool scene to be on top of the roof here and then just take a look at what's going on in the background here.
Yeah. Yeah. It really gives you that sense of the war that's going on.
The question, how much, Leon, did you have to hold back when working with all of us? Because you're a perfectionist.
So
oh my goodness. I have video. I have video. One day, maybe I'll release it.
It kind of looks like Hulk is dribbling the ancient one right there in that shot. Dribbler like a basketball. Look, there you go. Yeah, boing.
I mean, it wasn't hard, We were all open for changes and small adjustments. I gave some feedback like, hey, maybe change color A to B, something like that, but great job. I think I was like that.
Well, Lion, you did turn around and you said, what about Captain America's fight in the elevator? What about that? Oh, there's no memory. Can't happen. It's not happening.
You're right. I'm gonna be proud of this though. I gave the suggestion to have them be up on the Avengers Tower right here for this NCU. It worked out really good because we had to have. I'm sorry, but we had to have That's America's Ass in this toy box. Like that was like the one thing in my non-existent contract for this whole project is like, nah, we need that right here. So
But this is the angle that hurts me. It was the wrong angle. The right up. It should have been looking it down. It should have been looking down. That's right. That was my only thing. I was like, "What?
You did it to show off the Leviathan, but I thought
You don't have the hours to talk."
Yeah. Oh man, we guess the legend ever started.
I mean, I wanted the zoom in on, America's Ass, but Pringle said, "Yeah, I have no, but there's nothing going to be broke." And I said, "Okay, we can move on."
This is like, this is a question. Was Chris Evans padded in his suit for the America's Ass, or was it all?
He was. He was.
I don't know. I mean,
This is the weird thing is because I look at this level and it's not as big as if you look at the first one where you got the hanger. I was going, where'd you get all the space? Because mine's all used.
well, yeah, you're saying that it's a flying Leviathan, a portal, ships coming out, explosions everywhere. Like that's nothing. Here is the highlight of the entire toy box. Almost, I say almost. It's kind of hard to say because there's so many moments in this whole thing that are like so good to the source material. It's hard to say, but I mean, yeah, no, it's hard to build New York in Disney Infinity, let alone a battle, let alone a Leviathan, let alone a portal, let alone Hulk flying around. Like it's so good.
And it's all combined. And just to think about it, 1 out of 10 toy boxes, guys.
Yeah.
This may be the most impressive thing that we've seen in a while. But it's just in one toy box, out of 10. It's just in there, the Leviathan, Pringle came up with it. The most insane creations. Took days off work.
Yeah. Wait, Pringle, did you plan that the player could go inside the Leviathan?
And
I thought when I saw it.
You could go in its mouth, and I was trying to work out could you do anything with it, but no, I couldn't do anything with that. But there is space inside the mouth to go into, but I couldn't get anything to work from there.
Okay.
I tell you one thing I was nervous about, and I have to say, Lionthd smashed it. Was obviously once you hand over the level, it's Lions was playing the game, so I'm going, are you going to get the right angles? Yeah. And every level you got the angles perfect. It's like you've got the camera twisted around at the right time and captured everything, which I know that was a lot of hours just alone to do that.
And to be fair, the communication between all of us on stuff we really wanted to showcase in the actual playthrough video, because when people play it, they can control it, right? But when, let's say you don't download it, or maybe you've sold Disney Infinity, or whatever the case may be, we wanted people to have an option to see everything that was created in a way that showcases it and does it full justice. And Lion, you did a really good job recording the
Yeah.
That's good.
And then what I really like is that we tend to. I mean, what I really like is that we can also do some videos after this playthrough, such as Pringle did, where he showed off his Leviathan in more depth, more details. And I think he plans future toy boxes with the Leviathan, so that's also great to see.
I've got a double one coming now. I went back for more torture, so that is coming.
Yeah, when you said you're doing double at the last event, I said, this man's a madman.
Right. I try and keep Lion quiet because he keeps on nagging me for this save file. So I haven't given it to him yet, but he is getting it shortly. I guarantee.
If it was for Christmas,
Why don't you and BrownBat make 6 Leviathans flying around and having a fight?
I'll leave that for BrownBat to do that. He can do that.
All right.
No.
This next
Way more big ships.
This was one of the coolest ideas, and I don't think this originally in here, Bowtie Guy, with having 2 sides that you could play as Cap, or
I know. Since Leo and I are both German, we always invite each other. More me than Leon, but don't talk about that. And he said, "Why don't you do a double thing here? Putting in either the Iron Man or Captain America, as playable characters." And when you play as Captain America, Iron Man appears as a small figure.
And different is so good. So the storyline, all in one toy box.
Yeah. And
you had to build the same setting but 2 different ways of playing it.
yeah, you can't do just the character switch and do the same missions. That doesn't work because it has to be something more different, My biggest concern was to since this is time travel, you have to be genuine with when it plays, and this is the 70s. I was born in the 70s, and I know how the 70s looked like. And to, like you see on the right hand, the diner from, I think it was from the Cars place, that this was my attempt because I just loved the music from the 70s, and to make it look, to give let's go back to visual interest, to put that one in and let the people know, it's maybe 60s, 70s, who knows. But that was my intention to, like I said, if it can be mistaken for something from the 70s, it is the 70s.
Yeah, that's a good point. I also love how these agents, we actually did some lore digging and found agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and you went in and actually made these like lore accurate agents, right?
Yeah, what I didn't notice, because I had to look it up, the base Iron Man's or Tony Stark's father was stationed is actually a S.H.I.E.L.D. base. And so there are S.H.I.E.L.D. agents over all the place, not dressed as we know from the movies, 70s, but it was in the movies, you don't see it that much, but it's actually a S.H.I.E.L.D. base. It was founded back in, I think, the 50s or so, after the World War.
The research was also done for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It went pretty deep. I loved it. I love the wording. You see the S.H.I.E.L.D. base right there. It's so cool. It's so cool. This is one I just
Say the way, I just have to point that out there. The way he used the entrance, that Star Wars entrance, for the entrance of the base with the brickwork was just brilliant. I just thought that was so.
The car.
Things like that. There's just little touches that's so awesome.
Yeah, it's really what made all these toy boxes special, though. Like, this is kind of what we push each other to do, right? Like, no stone unturned. When we were like, I'm not doing that because it's going to add a week of work. It's Endgame. We have to do it, right? I have my playthrough. We can't do 2 points of view, and we're like, Bowtie Guy.
And my love for I almost put in every level one elevator, at least one elevator. And this was a perfect opportunity to put another in another elevator, because what are they there for? For the stone, and this was inside the bunker.
And a very iconic scene from Endgame with him.
Oh yeah, where he met his mother and had a little talk about parenting.
I just thought this was such a cool, like, when thinking about all these toy boxes, another thing you have to keep in mind is when we're talking about what toy boxes we're working on, we also discussed what the gameplay elements were going to be. So, you know, I knew I wanted some 2D in there, and I don't think there's one other section that's semi 2D, but like we wanted them to feel different and diverse from each other, but still cohesive. So I think it's just so cool that you have two ways to play this toy box based on what path you want to go. And then using the townspeople to follow you. So the NPC or the person you don't select. So in this case, you picked Iron Man. So having Cap follow you, I thought was a really nice touch. And then I don't know when you added it. I think in Morag, I think Poppa H was the first one to add it with like Star-Lord coming down and like singing the song lyrics.
That was the lyrics are on Leon, though. That Leon composed the.
I love it. And I love that we added it here too to just amplify and kind of accentuate like that end game feeling. It's such cool touches.
You know, I would have loved to add some 70s music to it. I will, guys, I will definitely do a playthrough where I show the other levels for the other character and add some 70s music to it. 70s music to it.
Do you know, there was one thing that really popped out at me about that level, and it was all the little Easter eggs. And I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I'm just going to say, look around the level because there's some really cool things. Just
And I remember
really cool.
There was a point where I think over here there was discussion on if we want to keep or cut some stuff just because there's so much to do, and I'm really glad we didn't cut certain things like this over here with the soldiers. And I just thought this was so cool. This is such a great cut touch. It looks like a military base.
Yeah, and from that time period, yeah, it's like all the little things like the diner, like you said earlier, the diner as you're coming in. That's right, because it could have still been there from the 50s, sort of architecture diner, isn't it? From the, you know,
we have a lot of,
but would still be there. Yeah,
we have retro diners. There's a lot in, you know, the United States where it's like throwbacks to those, like, yeah, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s cafes and stuff. And I love that stuff. Johnny Rocket, stuff like that.
Which brought me to this level was when I found the right Skydome. And this Skydome made it for me because then I knew what kind of trees I wanted to put in. I know normally in areas like military areas, there are no trees because they have to know who's coming in from every side. But I put it in. It just looked good.
Oh, yeah, the level of detail and consideration that went into this one. We went into all of them. This one in particular, you can really see it. You can. You know, and you can see it in all of them. You know, it's our own perspective, and now we feel that detail has to go in. But look closely, and you see it. You know, and
not just to recreate, like you were talking about earlier, Leon. Like not just to recreate cut scenes and make it as accurate to the movie as possible, but also add that Disney Infinity touch that we all know we love about the book.
I mean, the Bofa guy added so many details and Easter eggs to it. That, for example, maybe you can see it in one, their chests, and if you open them, you get some iconic one face from Tony's father. And what is quite important here to notice, there's so much text in it. Diary entry. Yeah, Toybox crashed a few times just because of it. So we loaded it up because our tools couldn't handle it. Yeah, so we loaded up the Toybox and it was fully empty. So we had to go back and change a few sentences, scrap them out. Yeah, so that finally worked.
And I want to say, Bowtie Guy, you talk about adding elevators in a lot of your toy boxes. It's really hard to build for me at least, it's really hard to like go down and build underground areas. Like for me,
Why?
So I don't know. It's just
No, it is. I find that really hard. Yeah,
I like the like seeing
find space is really tough.
totally. It always blows me away watching like some of your toy boxes and some of the entries. I think there's another creator, JKG, that was building like some Star Wars toy boxes with really elaborate underground areas, and I love seeing stuff like that. I think people that can really go down layers and layers.
I'll tell you guys one thing: smoke, the large area smoke when you put the locator one block down inside the terrain, it makes wonders to your toy boxes.
The atmosphere, yeah. Yep. That's the trick I've been using to say when you can see it right there. So for people that are ever creating in the toy box,
How cool is this?
oh,
Yep, that's my crystal.
Tesseract.
Oh yeah, yeah. I hope it's basically a crystal. Otherwise, it would be.
I love it.
You can see. Who's this? Oh,
It's his father. It's his father.
If people only knew the amount of, sorry to interrupt, the amount of time that we took trying to find the right NPC for characters or trying to find the right Sky Dome. I mean, we tested everything. We talked about everything. We had options about everything. Like it was so much collaboration to find those right kind of touches to make everything just feel right.
If it can be mistaken for Tony Stark's father, it is Tony Stark's father.
Right.
So
It's so good.
Pringle, what did you say?
Pringle?
when you do this, oh, have I gone? No.
Yeah, no, you fainted a bit.
I don't know what happened there. Sorry. When you do this, do you write down the interconnecting links? How do you plot out all the different connections? Because you've got different links that are triggered by different areas. How do you keep a track of them all?
What I learned from each of you, because you were my heroes before I started when I watched Disney Infinity. No, it's not, I'm not bragging. It is like it is. I was starting out and I had to start somewhere. I watched Pringle, I watched Poppa, I watched BrownBat. And someone said, organize your logic toys. Otherwise, when you leave it for, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks, you really don't know what connection is with.
I was doing logic in mine, and I had to put everything like up above, like maybe like, I don't know, 3 square blocks above the ground, just so I remembered where all that logic is.
Yeah.
You know, because that was such a great point, and I'm glad you brought that up because it can quickly spiral out of control when you start connecting all the, and these are not, I just want to reiterate, these are not simple toy boxes. These are very common.
And just in this case, Infinity Ring, when someone else has to put in more logic to make it work for uploading, that was the hard part, because Leon, who said it crashed what it did a few times, he had to work through my kind of logic. I work differently than Leon does, and kudos to his work. And
Stop the video here. Stop the video. Stop the video. Stop the video. Okay. Finish your sentence, the both guy, because after this, I have something planned for all of us.
oh yeah, kudos to Leon for working through all of our levels, because you don't know where someone puts some things, and it was a lot of work, even if he said, no, it's no big deal.
Yeah, thank goodness for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 share play, because that was the easiest way to like help each other out with, hey, this logic connection's here, what can I do with this? Like it really made it such an easy way to be able to share screen what you're doing and the workflow and how you do things. So that made it really easy. Okay, so while we were all building these individual toy boxes, like I mentioned earlier in the video, getting ThatBrownBat on board was something so special for us, because, I mean, we just admire what you do so much. What you've built with mods has been, I don't know how you do it, is basically the best way I can put that statement. I don't know how you do it. You're so dedicated to the community, and your modding work is so fantastic. And you came in and we were like, could you handle the end of Endgame? And you were like, Yeah, no problem. We're like, all right, we really got to step it up, guys. So I just want you to know that building all this, knowing what was coming, and we had not seen pieces of this yet, was maybe my most favorite part, because we knew a banger was coming, but we didn't know exactly how great it was going to be. So I want to give you the floor, that brown bat. Let's talk about this scene. And I think after that, Leon, you have something special that you want us to do for this.
I mean, it is this cutscene, yeah. But just first, Brownbat, talk a bit about it if you want, and then we go through the scene.
Well, I had to watch the movie, and to me, it just seemed easy, I guess, because it was like I'm just copying what's in the movie.
That's
And-
insane to me, by the way. That I looked at the end. I said, "This isn't gonna happen. This isn't gonna happen. How are we gonna do Endgame's cut?" That's crazy. I mean, that is really cool.
You gave me the easiest one, so I think we somehow
We so did
and,
not. We so did not.
Wow.
No,
We was like, he has the bad job to do.
No, I was
like,
just thinking. I think
We're following him, giving him the end game.
I
Yeah.
think we each got our own. How do you say it? When each person's, I guess
Strength.
we'll throw destined. Each person is destined for certain things in proportion with what who they are and what they do, I guess. And I think the things just fell in line with who's skilled in what and who could do what. Because I look at the other ones, I'm like Vormir. That's why I was asking you, how did you? It would take me so many tries to get something like that, especially without looking at something that is pre-existing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would take me a while to do that. Looks like we got coming in.
No. Just Discord calling. Just Discord calling. But by the way, as you talked about it,
Okay.
we have this legendary scene, because I don't want to hold the patience here. And what I would love to do, because we did it so often, and it is awful, we make a role play out of this. I think everyone can see the screen here. So
I can't wait a minute. I'm struggling. So you might struggle with Thor. And I've been trying to get it back on my phone, but I can't.
So who plays who?
Okay, Hulk goes through that brown bat. Okay, Pringle, who are you?
I'll be Pepper Potts and Tony.
Okay.
Pepper Potts isn't even here, is she?
No, she's not. She's not, but he played later. But later, she's still later. No, one line. No. I will do.
We're not doing the whole. Are we doing the whole
No,
thing?
we don't do the whole. We don't do the whole thing.
Yeah, we got to do it just like we did in the practice sessions.
Just what I did, you know?
This was a way.
Okay. The Bota guy, you will do 4. You will do 4, and I will do Rocket, Ant-Man, and the small roles, you know?
Okay.
All right.
Right.
You ready?
Then,
1,
okay.
2, 3.
All right, the glass ready. Question is, who's gonna snap their freaking fingers?
Do it.
Whoa. Hey, Thor, just wait. We haven't decided who's gonna put that on yet. Be great if I could read.
Oh, I'm sorry. What we were all just sitting around waiting for the right opportunity.
It's eyes. Oh man.
Oopsie daisy.
We should at least discuss it. It's Ant-Man. The reason I won.
Look, sitting here starting at the thing is not going to bring everybody back. I'm the strongest Avenger, okay? So the responsibility falls upon me. It's my duty to...
Look, it's not that easy.
Just stop it. Let me do it. Just let me do it. Something good, something right, and have a cup of tea.
Where's the fine? Improv.
Look, it's not just the fact that the glove is challenging enough energy to light up a continent. I should know. Oh, Pepper Pop has always given me grief. I'm telling you, your own condition.
Sound like you sound like the
What do you think is coursing through my veins right now? Coffee or beer?
Oh, no. I'm going to tell you what is... Yeah? Cheese whiz?
Lightning.
Oh, man.
Lightning won't help you, pal. It's got to be me. You saw what those stones did to Thanos. They almost killed him. None of you could survive.
This is so good. This is so good. Oh, man, I'm enjoying this way too much.
How do we know you will?
We don't. But the radiation is mostly gamma. It's like, I was made for this.
What happened in between?
Okay. Whenever you're ready, just give him the bird. The word.
The bird.
Let's do it.
This is so good. The dialogue is so
Let's do
fun.
it.
Okay, remember, everyone, that Thanos snapped away 5 years ago. You're just bringing them back to now and today. Don't change anything for the last 5 minutes. Or, well, 5 years. But just don't tell Pepper.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
Got it.
Friday, do me a favor and activate barn door protocol, will ya?
yes, boss. I love this cutscene, by the way.
So cool.
Everybody comes home.
Oh, man, that's good.
Ah!
Oh my, take it off.
So you said that. That's dying.
No, wait. Bruce, are you okay?
Ah! Ah!
Come to me, Banner.
That's the one that tickled us every
Okay.
time, isn't it?
I'm okay.
Oh, man.
I'm back with legendary every time. Every great.
Ah! I don't know why.
And by the way, getting this whole countdown sequence with her coming up to the terminal and just this countdown, brilliant.
So good.
People think it's funny when I'm like, dude, eat a gallon of yogurt. You'll be making that noise too.
That's so good. That's your truth.
Ah! Ah!
Oh, my.
Yeah, people talk about cheese. Yogurt, man.
Your cheese is burning up.
Don't move in. Come on.
Did it work?
Oh, he's freezing.
Man, all of these effects. Just imagine. Honey? Are you there? I think it worked. No.
Oh man.
Oh, damn.
Can I say something about this?
Yes.
Sure.
I submitted the original one. It was just panning out, going away from Thanos' ship, and Leon hated it. So I redid it. I think that's when we had the discussion about the cameras, and that's when I redid it. And I'm like, if he doesn't like it, This time, I think he already I think he had already thrown something back at me. I'm like, I'm like, 3 strikes are out, buddy. But he loved it, so I'm like, good.
You know what though? I will say there was more to it that you showed in your extended cut that couldn't be used on when we converted it. That was really unfortunate because the explosions that you added to the base were so visceral. That was a bummer that was a technical issue that was out of our hands to be able to use it because it kept crashing the transition from this Toybox to the next.
All right. And
now,
this is the next Toybox, right?
Yes.
This one, this is the one I did first. Originally, this was a side scroller.
Yep, I remember that.
2D.
And there was just such an issue with the cameras changing when you go around the corner. Now, if I would have made it a straight shot, it wouldn't have been that big a deal.
Right. Yeah, you had a lot of tunnels that were built. You actually scaled back some of them, right?
No, remember what we did? I had the barrier blocks.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Around, and Leon's like, "Hey, how about we try this?" And he removed them, and it cut it gave us half the Toybox space.
That's so crazy. The memory just cleaned
left.
up.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But
I have to say the 2D part looked so perfect.
It was really cool.
It did.
You don't lose anything. Yeah, you don't lose anything by not having it be 2D. That's right. That's because I remember there was 2D sections because I remember when BrownBat came in and showed us the original cut. I was like, oh, sweet, another 2D section. And then, yeah, it had to be scaled back because of camera. But I mean, look at this. Yeah. You really get that claustrophobic feel, which I think the movie did a great job of when some of the animals were coming after Hawkeye. Using the Spider-Man venom creatures was perfect here. It gives you that claustrophobic, like you're really underground in this rubble feel, which is not easy to do, by the way. This looks just phenomenal. The visuals here and the electrical wiring. I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Now, can I give a little insider trick?
That works.
Tip or whatever. Secret. It's not a secret now. This would have taken me probably twice as long if I was building it on the console.
Really?
Because the trick to getting those pipes in and the rail slides in it's very time consuming. Whether you use a replayer or use the glitch effect, and then where you have to put it down, back it out, and then put it back in, and then theme all, and then individually theme, which it would have taken a very, very long time.
Right.
So I built this entire thing, much to the annoyance of some people who are just purists in everything that they do. I built this with the mods because I wasn't going to. Time is always a factor, you know.
Mm.
And so if you have the ability to do something,
you saved yourself
very
hours
quickly
of work by passing just the Toybox logic. Because like you said, the replayer, for those that don't know, if you want to clip, like, let's say you want to clip something into a building, there's barriers on each building piece or whatever you're placing down, blocks, right? You can't clip them through each other. You'll get red instead of like the yellow or green to go ahead and place stuff. The replayer trick allows you to actually clip things through each other. So you can make buildings look bigger. You can add chimneys and stuff. Like there's a lot of different reasons you would use that, the replayer tool, but it is time consuming because you have to place the piece, then place the other two pieces, delete the original piece you placed, then use a replayer to replace it and clip it through the two placed pieces, if that makes sense. It's kind of difficult to explain, but
it's difficult to, the tutorials.
I don't think any of us cared though, because you were still using the techniques that were here.
Right. Yeah. You all guys were fine. There's some people that really have an issue with me in the community.
That's what it has to low.
Let's put it that way.
I was like, whatever saves you time, because you have a bunch of fighters about to come out of portals that I don't have to worry about. You do, so I was like, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you happy.
I mean, BrownBat also I mean, he also created 4 toy boxes for his product.
Right.
So every minute counted, I guess.
Not to forget to mention,
Yeah,
I'm a converted purist because since I had the possibility to work with the brown bat mod, I'm hyped. I'm hooked. I'm hyped. You know what I mean.
Yeah, you're becoming our you're becoming Brown Bat's protege.
No. I'm just fooling around and
You're now the bow tie bat.
the bow tie bat
The whole thing.
could be working.
No, it's really incredible. And for those that haven't seen Brown Bat's mods, you'll have a recap soon on my channel about what he's been creating over the years. That is still to come, but he has a bunch of really great videos on his channel. And you also recently opened up the Brown Bat hunting channel as well, which showcases tons of stuff, tutorials, all that good stuff on everything you've been building.
Well, there's no tutorials in it yet except how to use the mod.
Yeah.
The tutorials are still on the main
Yeah.
channel. Yeah, because it's going to take a long time if I want to read
And you can actually install it on your
And-
toaster, which is really
To come back to the purist section, who cares how you got there when the end result looks fantastic?
yeah. And
Some
there's
people.
there's no mods because you can't have anything modded on the console version. It just won't. So like, let's say like
Correct.
we had another example of this is Cassini and his team did some work with Breeze that allowed for some of the Marvel Battlegrounds toys to be placed in some of these toy boxes. Those don't exist on the PC version. So if we were going to have this be playable on PC, we had to have those toys exist, and they were able to like get like I think like 99% of the toys in. So it really was a group effort. So on the console it would have been fine because Marvel Battlegrounds and Finding Dory, for example, are on console. They're not on the PC Gold versions of the game. So this caused a problem because we had some stuff that was used from you know
That's right.
those places.
So we had to convert this for the PC version, but the PC version works without any mod.
Right. So everything in here is without mods, even though if we, had some workarounds to make things easier. And just this whole cutscene was also, I love this cutscene with the Infinity Gauntlet. I love how big it is and Hawkeye on the ground. Camera works great.
The brown bat, would have looked different with the brown bat mod, and how? What would you change?
Here I would have to actually fix. I wouldn't fix. I'd have to add in some more life-size NPCs. Because if you put those townspeople in, they're going to start automatically. If you just load this up with the mod, they're going to. Well, there's a 50% chance they're going to start kicking your butt. Just start attacking you if they're not on teams. That's something I can't
Right.
fix. If you select them as teams with the loader, the wave spawner, because this is and the PC version, the wave spawner is garbage. As Leon found out while we were
Because we used it for the
doing the
story box
conversion.
quite often. If the toy doesn't really work on PC.
When you got used this yellow, is this blue plate the where you spawn one at a time?
Friendly wave generator.
Friendly wave generator, okay.
And where to use the plate. Where to use the plate, which I constantly for every cutscene. So there was a mess. This was also the reason why we
use
were
the,
so depressed about it.
remember how we had to use the time delayer to bounce back in order to get the townspeople to
And
do
I want to
something.
also say when we were converting some of these, like PC to PC, PlayStation to PC, PC back to PlayStation, some logic would just in that, I guess that translation, it would get messed up and we would have to rebuild stuff. And we ran into bugs that were not there on our own individual playthroughs that were there once we added text in or once it went through that conversion process. So that was like really disheartening, I think, to
And it was also the first time that we combined all of these components that we had. We know how to encrypt save files, we know how to get them to the PC, we know how to play Robloxers there and so on, how to add text. But to combine all of this and to exchange it the whole time, this was new to us. And I mean, we even had to develop new tools for it to make our life easier, get more control.
I find that bit very stressful. That was a bit really stressed me out, that bit.
Yeah, me and Pringle were kind of on the side being like, oh man, I'm glad I'm not part of that team on the Avenger.
I like the silent. You're wearing silent game. Simon did it. He didn't help us at all. What are you going on about? I know. But in struggle.
What were your thoughts on this underground segment? In fact,
Oh, insane. Really cool. I really love it. Yeah, and in the movie, it's a really kind of claustrophobic scene, you know, and I think it captured that really well.
And then really now how unique our building style is.
and now this is really cool, Brown Bat, because you've talked about this. When you built the campus, you looked at the Avengers campus that we built. You actually looked at overhead shots of the set that they used for Endgame and how it got destroyed, and you based this part of the level when they come out to face Thanos at the end of Endgame. You based that on actual like concept art and stuff, right?
The CG artist. There's a clip on YouTube that they put out like for 30 seconds, and yeah, that's what I based it exactly on that.
I mean, look at, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but this is peak Disney Infinity right here. Can we just take a second to give a round of applause to Brown Bat for creating what he calls easy, what I called impossible, because I just didn't think, I thought we would get to this point. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought we would get to this point right here and it would all fall there. Just, we wouldn't be able to create something that would be on scale with the movie. There you go. Round of applause.
You know, it's funny. Originally, I had the what's that guy from Force Awakens that nobody knows who he is? Tolomar Reeves. I had him coming out of the portal to be, like an Avenger or a good guy. And Leon was very vocal against that. I wish you wouldn't do something like that or something like that. Something like, I'm like fine.
By the way, it wasn't the
townspeople.
Wasn't the whole reason for this? Wasn't the whole reason for the setting here? In order to build this setting here, wasn't it necessary to build the whole Avengers headquarters? I think this was the reason why you built it.
That's why I built it, so I could get
to destroy it. Just to destroy it.
I wanted, if we're going to use it in every level, the buildings had to line up.
Yeah.
I also love that we decided, because Thanos obviously isn't in Disney Infinity. We decided on this townsperson because we used it across the board, and I love that we had a good idea for who Thanos would be and who you'd be fighting. It works.
Yeah, well, I made him purple, so that works.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's one nice couple when I was a car.
And just the setting, the visuals on this part with the ship in the background in the destroyed Avengers vicinity. I mean, the storytelling through the visuals across all these toy boxes, but especially this one, it blew my mind.
What I like to know, Brown Bat, did you save the compound twice and then build back till you had this combination with all the destroyed areas?
I used the same one, so I just saved it. Yeah, saved it twice and then changed it in a different save file.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ripped stuff apart.
I call that the alternative toy box technique. So you can switch to the toy box store to another one. It's exactly the same map, and you can strip logic out, put logic in, strip
the only difference
and leave set piece in. You can do all sorts there.
The only difference, this one and the next one, I had to rebuild Thanos' ship again because in the movie,
it's a continuity error, right?
Yeah. It moved. So I don't know if they cut out a scene. Well, if you watch it, I mean, Ant-Man's there as Ant-Man, and then he's Giant Man, while him and Wasp are fixing the car. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, that's funny because I remember you were really fired up about this. You're like, the continuity error in Endgame. We're like, what? And then when you pointed it out, I was like, oh. Of course, we got Thanos in this battle. It's so cool. Such a great idea. And again, the visuals are so stunning here. You got the fire on the buildings, you got the rubble everywhere, you got the ground kind of catered in from the ship in the background. Like it is such a threat, and I love how much it resembles the movie within the.
I love how cool this part here is when it comes to gameplay, because this part here isn't meant that you win; it's meant that you lose.
Right.
Yeah, and didn't we have to
can't
fix
really win
this
here.
for
We had to.
PlayStation?
Yeah,
Because
the tool didn't work the same way.
If anybody got Disney Infinity 3.0 when it first came out, the boss fight spawner worked differently. And the PC version has like one of the old versions. So when you play it on PlayStation, if you just directly transfer it over, it doesn't work the same way. So we had to fix it for the respawner or not the respawner, the I had it hooked to a replayer, but one of the versions it turns it off by default, and the other one you have to turn it on. I forget exactly all the technical details, but it's different and it's annoying when you get used to it one way and then you have to go fix it.
Yeah.
Somebody yelling in the background, screaming at you.
I can't imagine setting up the logic for all this too.
But Brown Bat, how many times did you play this level to test it?
Oh my goodness. This part right here, not too many until we got to PlayStation conversion. Because I thought this part was cut and dry. It's the next level.
Yeah.
It's the next level. One, because this one was the testing, and the other part was because it was just so flippin' fun.
Yeah.
Once you got it working. Like, that was great.
This is one of the best scenes, I think, yeah.
Yes, 100%. This is what I did. I thought this whole project was going to fall apart right here. And Brown Bat was like, nope, I know what I want to do. He's like, I got him.
There's no idea how to do it. He does the Infinity.
I mean, let's think of a world. Portals coming out. Right. It's
Totally. Heavy fight, Thanos, ship goes down, everything. You have to fix everything. Then the end scenes,
And I remember them one night, Brown Bat, you were not in the party, and me and Pringle and Poppa and Bowtie Guy and Leon were like, how is he going to do the rings? How are they going to come through the portals? Like, how is that going to happen? And we had no idea. Like, we're like, I don't know. And then this right here, this is so good.
I got that from Professor Toybox when he did his
Wally?
What? Wally, yeah. I directly copied that. He just did it like a week before I did this. I'm like, well, I'll use that because they had drop ships.
Yeah, and shout out to Professor Toybox. Always learn something from his toy boxes. I love his creativity. So cool.
And now here it comes. On your left, this is also so good. Now, everybody who watched the movie will get
The portal's unbelievable. These visuals
Now,
are unbelievable.
And on the PC, it actually looks better. The effects, it doesn't show for some reason on the console. Oh, here's another fun fact. Black Panther on the PC has the movie version. On the console, it has, they never changed him.
Oh, interesting.
It's so messed up. Yeah, so the PC has a different Black Panther.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Person. It's so weird, right? You would think the console, with all the updates and everything, they would have done that. And they didn't even put him in. You don't even have him.
Even Doctor Strange is here. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
And Wong.
Yeah. Oh, we got my boy Wong. Avengers.
No.
No. All right. So what was the gameplay motivation? What was the motivation for the gameplay here, right? Because we are limited by what the toy box can do. So what was the approach going in here, Brown Bat?
Use the townspeople as your allies. So they're still there. They can be beaten, I think, right?
Yeah.
They don't
so
respawn.
They will come back at a certain point.
Yeah, you have to beat all of them or something like that. I forget exactly how that was implemented. Hulk is supposed to respawn. I can't remember because he's a boss. I don't think he does on the PlayStation version. Because once we fixed it for Green Goblin, but after we went through that, we're like, you know what? Nobody will know.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan's part is out of the scene.
But on the blame battle blame for changing characters.
But you had to beat a certain amount of enemies, and then and then the next scene would happen. Yeah,
and again, I just can't get over the visuals. The ship, the two ship that in the background, the enemies, the two ships right there, the ship in the background, like the rubble. This whole battlefield is just so sick.
Now the smoke, I thought Bowtie had said the small area smoke instead of the large area. So I used small area smoke, and I probably could have made things a little bit smaller if I used the large area. Because I thought that's what he had said, and I used the small.
When you use the large area smoke, put the locator 1 block down in the ground, because otherwise you wouldn't see anything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, these I put 2 down.
Okay.
Except for the fire. Directly fires directly in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, but I think the scenery with all the smoke is perfect, BrownBat.
Yeah.
And for people that are wondering, like blocks and stuff, so when you put an effect on something, you always have a locator, which is a tool inside the toy box, and you apply an effect to a locator. So if you want that fire on the side of the building, BrownBat would essentially have to place that fire on a locator and then make that locator have set effects. So you can have multiple effects to one. You can have multiple effects you can have one effect for multiple locators, right? But you have to place those locators individually. So with the smoke area, if you put it underground, it almost creates like a mist thing. If you were to raise that, it would almost be like, it would be in their vision. So it just has a really nice look. It's something that I've used in toy boxes. And you guys taught me that a couple years ago, and it's super nice.
And it works better on console, the appearance.
But it can be tricky, because that's what broke my Arcana toy box for Star Wars Day year before that. Because I connected 50 or 60 locators to one effect generator.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's that much.
Yeah.
We should just go through and try on purpose to see what makes the game break.
There's a lot of YouTubers there's a lot of YouTubers that do stuff now. Like I know with Dreamlight Valley, there's YouTubers that'll go out and like place 1,000 balloons in in one of the empty like areas. It's funny. He'll start chugging and stuff.
No, like the small, I think the limit. Yeah. I think we all push to the limits with our toy boxes, and including the Endgame toy boxes.
Yeah.
But this kind of reminds me of the Infinity War toy box, the Wakanda one that Pringle created. Was also like fight against a bunch of enemies. You're on your own with some allies
coming through the gate. So cool.
That one. Yeah.
Before I forget, and I know we're not even there yet, but if you watch the playthrough, at the last scene, there's a sound glitch.
Oh, right.
And I found out what that was. It's one of the symbiotes, and this is across all platforms. One of the symbiotes is broken. And it's only one of them. I forget which one it is. And
I think it's fixed.
He will. What's that?
I think you fixed it.
No,
it's
random. It's random.
Okay.
So it happens in your playthrough, and it kept happening to mine afterwards. I'm like, it didn't forever, and then all of a sudden you did this. I'm like, and then I played it. I'm like, why is it all of a sudden now? But it's random. If one of the symbiotes starts to respawn when you have the logic to kill the enemy spawner, he'll keep spawning, and the sound won't stop.
Yeah.
And it's got
Got
yeah.
that.
So
How many boss fights did you put in here, actually?
This is the only one, I think.
or 4.
And the other one,
No,
the
we
big
just you already fought. Remember, we had
Yeah, but
one
in
boss
this toy
fight.
box, I found in this toy box.
Oh,
It's a
there's
different
2.
one.
There's 2 in this one.
Okay. That is two.
There's one you have to win. Wait,
I thought
you
it's
have to
just
win this
one. You win this one,
No,
and then
'cause the
there's
last one-
cutscene?
He comes back again with Miss Marvel. Remember? Or
Oh,
Captain
right.
Marvel.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, he comes back. So twice. Yeah. Okay, now here we can see the continuation of Hawkeye. You know, we played the level with Hawkeye, and now we're here back. We can see him with the glove. That's it. With the gauntlet. That's how we go.
We had to really think a lot of stuff through for this to make it work.
Oh my goodness!
So much.
You remember the preliminaries with all the logic everywhere?
Oh, I remember.
Did you
And there was
move it
one thing-
underground after testing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I spent more time
that's-
moving all my logic out of my toy box than I did building my toy box.
Yeah. There's a couple logic toys. If you listen to the Let's Play, you can hear this high pitch hum.
Yeah, that's the replayer mostly.
There's a replayer, the on off switch.
True. Yeah.
And there's another one. I forget which the other one is right now. But yeah, it's especially when you're wearing headphones, and you don't realize it if you're not wearing headphones.
True.
Oh,
And
and here's
then-
the time machine.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So good. So good.
That's also a good choice of the time machine, you know, because we don't have it in games. Use the Toy Story pizza truck.
Oh my. Papa, you were the one that created originally the Avengers campus, correct?
Yeah. And I'm
So how
time ago.
how cool is it to see this version of it like rebuilt and destroyed by Thanos? Like, did this put a big smile on your face to like stand all
No, for some people, they're probably thinking, "Oh no, you know, what's he going to think about that?" I love the fact that BrownBat had like took some inspiration from mine and then put his own inspiration into it, and then did some research online with all the different versions of the campus, and I was just blown away by that. I just really did enjoy that part of it, and seeing it coming together. And I'm like, yeah, this is how I wanted it to be. And I started to run out of memory, and I was like, I'm just so proud. I'm just so proud that it's been achieved. That's what I wanted. That's how I kind of visualized it in my mind. But I just couldn't quite get it there. And it was really good to be able to be a part of that, and to, you know, and to feel like when BrownBat has said, you know, I've watched your videos for like 2 hours, 3 hours of live stream tutorial, and yeah, brave man. Brave man.
It's cool that the people finally get it noticed, because you can't see that in the gameplay when you play.
Right. And also, I just want to say that I've always tried to be as helpful as possible to our community in this channel. You know, with everything that every video that I've made, I've tried to respond to almost every comment and help people out. And I just want to give you guys a shout out because before, really, I would say maybe 6 months before we started working on this together, I got to know you guys and on a personal level, and I think it's safe to say we gained some friendships through this experience, and you all are equally as helpful and thoughtful in your approach to helping people out. I, out of everybody in the group, knew the least about toy box building, and you guys gave me tips that I would have never thought about. And I just want to say, I know you guys have also been that way with your communities and your channels, and just a really great group of people that we have here. That to be able to come together and build something like this, it's just a really, for me, it means a lot because like you guys were talking about earlier, I looked up to all of you in toy box building, and oftentimes I would watch your videos and be like, well, I can't do that, so I'm not going to even try. It's like you're that far ahead of everybody else. But you guys really, it's been so.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing to hear. And I think this is such a big compliment. And man, my only question is Infinity Adventures the billing address so we can send the the bill over for the service?
Couple of gingerbread lattes and
I mean, I have a few hundreds of hours on my clock, yeah, for the bow tie guy, Pringle, everything. That don't know.
yeah, looks like I had a rate. But no, I mean, and really like to learn from you guys and to be a part of the thought process. It was just so cool to see. And I think the thing that was so great about this whole experience, as we're watching this crazy final battle, is just how amazing, it was to learn from you guys. Looking up to you and watching all your videos over the years. It's just it was a really special thing to come together. I don't know if this could ever happen like this again. So I'm really glad we did it and we accomplished it. And I feel like we left no stones unturned because it's Endgame.
Yeah. We did, and it is wonderful that we all kind of we come together for the community events and then we present our own toy boxes. So this project was so cool to see all of us actually come together to build on one toy box and work on one project with our own ideas, our own techniques, style, help each other, give feedback, and so on. So this was a very unique experience, and I'm glad that you proposed the idea back then, and that somehow we all said, okay, let's go all in, sleepless nights, go crazy, days off, and just do the end game. Not gonna lie, after this, I think we were all a bit burned out. I haven't been in this toy box since this video. Yeah, I'm still traumatized by it.
We're talking 6-7 straight months of building, communication, improving, redoing logic that breaks, which sometimes means redoing the entire toy box logic, which can take days for some of the complexities of this. And then just it was a long process. And then converting things, making sure the toy box text creators worked, making sure everything was timed out. All the logic was similar across the board.
Like for example, we are all working full time besides building.
Yeah.
But this is so wonderful just to see this scene here, for example. What are they firing at? And then you see Captain Marvel, just these small details. Brownbat made sure that everything is in the scene somehow, but also in a good gameplay aspect, such as that we saw the small mission here where you have to find the right townsperson, bring him to...
This was one of my favorite things. Sorry to interrupt, Leon. This is one of my favorite things. We don't have Captain Marvel in the game, but you have her flying through the shit visually, and it's so good. Oh my goodness. Shit coming down. Brownbat, how did you do this?
This is insane.
You ever watch Highlander?
Oh, yeah.
It's a kind of magic.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable good. This is also the small details here, such as Rocket. He said in that scene, oh yeah. Yeah, and he included it.
Oh yeah!
Come on. Well, so good. And here's the last fight. And this is also such a cool special. Now we have Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel is overpowered, as we know, but he included it. Check this out. You can just walk around with her, and then she kills them.
When that movie come out, or when she first was played by Brie Larson, all these people in the community come out and, oh, she's Mary Sue, and she's so OP. They talk about their Marvel purists and whatnot. Captain Marvel, or Ms. Marvel, has always been a feminist, and a drunk, and OP.
Yeah.
So nothing's changed. They got the perfect actress for her.
I'm with you. I'm pro Brie Larson. Let's go.
And so all these people that are supposed to be, on
here it comes.
what I would consider my side, they just need to chill. They're just making millions of dollars on complaining.
But now, guys, the best scene is coming. The best scene. We have to watch this one. this is. We have this in the game.
Ooh, yeah.
Who's speaking Iron Man and who's missing his gob?
I love the electricity.
Oh, that's Pringle. Yeah.
That-
Okay.
Were you working with me, Leon, when I messed this up?
Yeah, I remember. But now we fixed it.
Because it was off, and then they kept spawning in like three of them.
Oh no!
Yeah. Oh my goodness, here it comes. Who wants to say that?
He's the last.
Mr. Stark.
Hey, Mr. Stark, can you hear me?
Pringle is Pepper.
He's dead, Jim.
See ya.
Pringle is Pepper. $1 million on him.
We won, Mr. Stark. We won. You did it, sir. You did it.
My goodness, is that acting good from you, Infinity or Spider-Man? Holy smoke.
Trying not to be the next Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey! It's your big moment, Pringle. You got to come with it.
Was. Hey, Peps. I remember I added something else to this line, but I won't
Be careful.
Yeah.
You got to keep it PG now.
Friday.
Life function.
Oh, my.
He's got chores to do at the weekend. He will get them done, won't he? Pepper, look at me. We're going to be okay. We'll get a housekeeper.
I love the addition of
You can rest now.
Tony's outfit. Yeah, isn't the spark dying out? Like, whose idea was that? Was that yours, Brown Bat?
Yeah.
Could be. Okay, BrownBat, now it's your turn to read this out.
Thank you for joining us on this marvelous adventure. Toybox is created by Lionthd,
Yeah.
Infiniteer Adventures, The Bowtie Guy, Poppa H,
Wait,
72 Pringle,
we love Pringles.
and that brown bat.
Yeah.
So until our Toybox team returns, keep on building.
That, ladies and gentlemen,
Man. Wow.
is Endgame.
Wow.
It was quite an adventure.
10 years anniversary of Disney Infinity. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for helping make this project a reality. I can honestly say, with respect to everything that's ever been built in this game, I think this was the perfect send-off to celebrate 10 years of this amazing game and these amazing communities that we've all been a part of. And it was really fun to do this for the fans and push ourselves to the limits. And all I got to say is we have one more announcement from Bowtie Guy about an upcoming Doomsday film. The floor is yours, Mr. Bowtie.
Changed my intention because I want to say something different, because since we watched it together, this is for every kid out there, for every grown up who's called crazy, who's called too much fantasy. Don't hear it. Don't do your own thing. Get out your creativity and play some Disney Infinity. Pick up.
I agree. Wonderful words, wonderful session to be all here and watch our insane project all together. It is wonderful to share all of these moments that we had through this whole adventure. And this is Endgame, baby. We made it. Sorry if I was too hard to view sometimes.
The question stays. Like, will the
I pay for the therapy sessions, yeah?
no template? No, but
$15,000 therapy session.
and the car. No, but I really enjoyed this whole journey with all of you, and I think the final product is amazing. Something to put into your CV, yeah? And that's wonderful.
Sorry, I just want to say a couple of things. It's like all of us together. I never kind of ever imagined that, like from watching people's videos and stuff like that. I just never imagined that we'd all be in the same place. and when we've got together, we've created that. It's such an epic. It's mind blowing. That was yeah, it's really, really so good. And yeah, I just want to say thank you.
There you go, Pringle. Yeah, well, I'd say it was an experience. I absolutely enjoyed every minute of it. And we've had so many laughs this year. It's got us through some dark times and it's been hilarious. I tell you, I'll do it again. That sounds crazy, but I'll definitely up for another one.
Wow. Hey, BrownBat?
I guess to quote the great American poet Axl Rose, where do we go? Where do we go?
I honestly thought you were going to bring back the "It Was Easy" again, because that blew my mind out of all the commentaries.
Oh, that's another GNR song. Yeah, so easy.
So easy. Yeah, I mean, look, it was a huge undertaking. The tech is there. I guess what I'll leave this at is we want to hear from you in the comment section. Would you like to see another one of these? I think it was special as a one-off. Doomsday is coming in 2026. We're going to have to wait and see how that movie does. If we have the characters, the tech to actually do this, the patience, you know, but honestly, if the movie is a banger, we might have to revisit it. Yeah. But until then, it was an honor getting to work with you guys on this project. Thank you for making it a reality. And most of all, thank you to all of the Disney Infinity fans. You make this passion possible. It was really the fuel for us to get out there and create this amazing, amazing, amazing collaboration. So shout out to all the fans out there.
And now get out and play this toy box. It's downloadable for PC and PlayStation.
Yes. We will link to that in the description below. You can get it on the Disney Infinity Discord. You can play it on PC, PS4, and or PS5. And all you got to do is sit there and enjoy the ride. And with that, all I have to say is, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for all the latest Disney Infinity news and content. This is the Avengers Endgame team signing out.